May is the most active month for tornadoes in Oklahoma. With the month barely a week old, it's living up to its reputation. The storms that have raked across Oklahoma in the last few days are renewing debate about why parts of the state seem so susceptible to tornadoes and how we can protect ourselves when the weather turns violent.
Residents of Bridge Creek might be excused if they feel a little snake bit. The community that was devastated by an EF5 tornado in 1999 was hit again Wednesday, the first in a series of storms that continued across the state. The twister damaged about 1,500 homes in the small community south of Oklahoma City. Bridge Creek residents were still picking up the wreckage when Governor Mary Fallin arrived the following morning to see the damage for herself.
First of all, I want to just lend my thoughts and prayers to those who lost property, and we're very thankful that there wasn't any loss of life in this community. There were some injuries, and so our prayers will be with those who suffered injuries.
The fact that no one was killed is fortunate, since Bridge Creek has no storm sirens and relied on fire department personnel who went door to door to warn residents.
Superintendent even made sure that school children were not in school when the storm was approaching. He got the children delivered safely to their homes or in the storm shelter at the school itself, and they actually do have several storm shelters here in their school system, so we're very grateful for that.
The path of destruction left by the storm underscored the need for shelters, and the governor acknowledged keeping students safe at school is an issue that isn't going away.
Of course, we've had the debate about storm shelters in schools. I've always encouraged school districts to look at putting storm shelters in schools, and of course Bridge Creek has done a great job.
Part of the debate concerns how shelters are funded. Fallin believes it's up to the school districts themselves.
It's a local issue that school boards and school districts and the voters can pass to put in a storm shelter. Some do it, some choose to modify different rooms, and others are deciding whether they want to do that. We've had legislation to discuss this before, but it has not passed through the legislature.
State officials still aren't sure how many schools in Oklahoma currently have safe rooms or storm shelters. Oklahoma Emergency Management Director Albert Ashwood says his office is still working to compile an inventory of school shelters.
We've been working with many communities to go out and do assessments with the architects and engineers to basically say what the safest place is in your school right now, and then it gets them thinking about what they want to do in the future as far as looking at safe rooms for their schools.
David Morrow is the superintendent of Bridge Creek Schools.
Our community is our school, and our school is our community, and we've been through this. Unfortunately, we've been through this before, but we're going to recover, and we will be stronger than we were before.
Why Bridge Creek and nearby communities such as Blanchard, Newcastle, and more seem to be in the crosshairs so often is a question that defies easy answers. Moore has become the most discussed city among those often struck by tornadoes, including an EF5 in 2013. Another tornado in March of this year was at least the 15th to hit the city in the last 65 years, and 3 rated EF4 or stronger since 1999. Rick Smith is the warning coordination meteorologist for the National Weather Service. Smith says despite how it may appear, there's nothing to suggest the area is a magnet for tornadoes.
We believe that if we knew the true history of tornadoes, if we could plot every tornado that's ever occurred throughout history, there would be no clusters of tracks around Moore or Blanchard or Bridge Creek or Newcastle or Oklahoma City or anywhere. There's nothing meteorologically, scientifically that makes any place in Oklahoma any more likely to get a tornado than another place.
2014 was the lowest year on record for the number of tornadoes in Oklahoma, but Smith insists that doesn't mean the state is due for a bad year in 2015.
There's really no such thing as a normal year. It's more of an average year. But these variations are natural. We'll have one year that's above normal, one year that's below, and there's no pattern to it or anything like that.
Smith adds that scientific data does not suggest the storms are getting more intense, but that improved reporting and increased storm photography has increased awareness of tornadoes and other significant weather events.
It used to be it was pretty rare to have a video of a tornado or a picture of a tornado. Now it's rare if we don't have a video or a picture of a tornado.